Hey guys, so I'm remaking my old video because some people didn't quite understand what I was saying. Maybe I didn't get it out properly. I'm going to sprint through it. I'm going to reiterate what exactly is going on here. There is a big rumor going around. It's just a rumor that at the toy fair, when they showed the Coleco Chameleon, what they currently have, which turns out to be just a prototype, that it was nothing more than a SNES Junior or a SNES Mini inside a JAG shell. So here's a comment from a random person. For privacy issues, I've blocked their name out. They're basically saying the exact same thing. You know, complaining about from there not being a functional power button. You just plug it in, it turns on. You unplug it, it turns off. To having no LED lighting. To the cart pins looking exactly like SNES pins at the back of the console. And all of this is true. People complaining about the fact that they used Super Nintendo controllers. Lots of allegations going on, which these things actually happened. This is all true. However, let's start with a comment on the controllers and what exactly was going on. So at the bottom left here, quote from the company, setting up this morning, some gameplay video. We are using aftermarket Super Nintendo controllers because the prototype controller, the proto controller, many of the options, aka analog sticks, are not working with these games at this time. It's easier to demo the system with Super Nintendo controllers. The controller cables are currently hardwired into the prototype. Specs and interior board shots will be shown at the Kickstarter, so they are not revealing specs or anything yet. They're saving all the good stuff for the Kickstarter on purpose. So the other complaint was that all of the games they showed were basically Pico Super Nintendo games or CollectorVision SNES games. So the comment from the company was, so the reason they did that, the reason they only showed these games was not because, and I'll get to this later, not because it was a Super Nintendo Mini thrown inside of a JAG shell to trick you, and this is based on what the company is saying. It was because we've written the SNES FPGA, so the SNES chip, they have that one ready to go and haven't written a Genesis chip yet. We will open the Chameleon up for the Kickstarter campaign and show you exactly what is inside. They're part of the reason they're not opening it and showing you what's inside and not revealing officially the specs, I'll get to that later, is for that reason. They have unofficially released the specs. They've told people. We'll get to that in a bit. Another comment below that from the Coleco Chameleon Retro Video Game System. We will open the Chameleon up for the Kickstarter campaign. For the show, it happens that we wrote a SNES core, and that is why we are showing these SNES games from Pico and CollectorVision. Okay. Now at the bottom here, I have a quote from a blog from Pico Interactive who were at the actual toy fair, and they were speaking and interviewing, trying to get as much detail as they could from the company. They were asking a lot of questions, just digging up the dirt, whatever they could get. And there's a big blog. I'll link to the blog. I highly recommend everybody read that blog. And a quote from them, I asked him, referring to the hardware engineer, to debunk the rumors, and he assured me that the console was not a SNES Mini inside a JAG shell. A comment from the author then says, at this point I am putting 100% of my trust into Coleco Chameleon's hardware developer and hope to see the final specs and PCB reveal during the Kickstarter. The blog writer then goes on to say, I requested a couple of times to see the proto board of the console if they wanted my confirmation or statement on record regarding the rumors, but I was told that the proto was put together by hand and even using scrap parts to get something working for the show. So it was not safe to open the case as we could break something. I witnessed the console acting up several times actually, so that seems legit. Okay, you can speculate that that's lies, smoke and mirrors, whatever. I'm getting a lot of comments bashing this, but I mean, it seems legit. The console's already acting up as is, plus they don't want to, you know, probably they also just didn't want to reveal it because they're waiting for the Kickstarter. It's just in 2 weeks from now, like, you know, you got to build up hype for the system too. You gotta get some excitement going, some talking, get the people talking. So then it goes on to say the hardware developer then revealed what seemed to be spec details on the console, which I will keep undisclosed until the Kickstarter is launched out of pure honor, ethics, respect, whatever you want to call it. These details, if correct, are part of the final and commercial version of the console, would make a heck of a good system. So he's saying, you know, the specs that he heard tell you it's going to be a good system. It's not going to be the same specs as the SNES or something like that, which is a rumor going around. It's not just a rumor that they used the board or the SNES Mini and threw it inside of a Jag shell. That's just one of the rumors. The other rumor is that it's essentially a remake of the SNES system, and they're passing this off as a new console. That is another rumor. Okay, there's two sides to this equation that some people are bashing me and suggesting I don't understand what's going on, but that is something that the company has even felt that they needed to comment on. It says at the bottom here, the Coleco Chameleon isn't going to be a remade SNES, as some are speculating. Company would not have stated that if that wasn't a rumor going around. The people are asking them these sort of questions. People are emailing them. People are writing on their Facebook page. It is happening. There's some confusion out there. And you know what? Yeah, we can't prove what was inside it, okay? And that's why I've changed the title of this to Rumors Debuffed with a question mark instead of debunked. Because yes, I had some bash on the word debunk. That was not a popular word because it hasn't been officially proven. We have company statements and we have information out there that would be very reasonable to assume that it was not a SNES Mini inside this prototype. This was a working functional prototype that had only been hard-coded for SNES games at the moment. To port those bad boys over. You know, it's up to you to decide what happened, whether the company is lying or not. That's up to you to decide. I happen to think that there's no way they would have thrown a SNES Mini inside of a Jag shell and tried to pass that off. So, what are my final thoughts on the subject? It is obvious that we were all expecting, including myself, we were expecting a fully functional system and not just a prototype. What we got was a prototype. It was unexpected. And that's partly what led to these rumors. I, for one, am siding with the company on this. I don't think it was a SNES Mini in there. I think it was a Coleco Chameleon inside the Jag shell. I could be wrong. Sure. Entitled to your own opinion. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you don't like the video, hit the dislike button. But you know what? Subscribe while you're at it. See you later.